Hey, real quick, shout out to the undisputed champions in boxing. I'm gonna just freestyle off the top of my head, the ones that I can think of. Shout out to Devin Haney, Jamel Charlo. Shout out to Larissa Shields. Shout out to Katie Taylor, Jessica McCaskill, Canelo Alvarez. Who else off the top of my head that I can say? These fighters is on some big champ shit. They undisputed. Uh, Amanda Serrano, I think, is still undisputed. Yeah, them the ones that come to my mind just right away. But as I'm talking, maybe some other names will come back. But these are the names that are actually that we should appreciate more. It's unfortunate that the ones that are really setting the bar high and really being on some big champ shit don't really get as much promo as the ones that don't have no titles, fighters that may have a secondary title, and there's been too much attention given to fighters who are really not accomplishing as much as others. So that's why I mentioned those names, those undisputed champs. And I wish more fighters will take after them. I see a lot of the fighters taking after the athletes that are way more popular. And I'm gonna be honest with you. At one point, I was a huge fan of Floyd Mayweather Jr. He was a hell of a fighter, like we said before. And but over the time, I realized that Floyd wasn't really great for boxing. He was a great fighter, a great boxer, but wasn't really great for boxing. Um, I think that his mentality in the beginning was very, very needed. It was very necessary for the sport. Floyd was able to bring eyes on him from the mud. Like he didn't really have a huge support system behind him and a huge promoter engine behind him. He was his own promoter. He knew how to sell his character and hype the fights up, and then on fight night, handle business. Every time. But Floyd, and shout out to my homie, like we having a good conversation in our group hangouts with my homie Charles. We was talking about this where he mentioned like, man, Floyd, be acting like belts don't matter, but yet he kept every single belt that he ever won. I mean, shiny and gold, you know what I'm saying, just glistening. And in the footage that we watched, he was showing Devin Haney all his straps. Devin Haney was just amazed. This was like some years ago. Now Devin Haney's undisputed champ. And you look at Floyd Mayweather's fighter Tank, and there's not no urgency to get no straps, man. All the belts that Floyd Mayweather collected, there's no urgency or emphasis to put Tank in that position to collect so many world titles. I feel like they playing Tank. Either they playing Tank or Tank is just down with the game and running the game on the fans. But they've been pushing this guy to win these secondary titles. And then they'll market it as, oh, he's a 3 division world champ. And somebody like myself would question, like, wow, when did y'all start counting these secondary belts, man? These off-brand belts. Like, I don't count thrift store belts, man. I really don't. But that's how I look at Tank's belt. The belts that he's been going after lately and trying to defend them like it's. But Floyd, once again, you know, he was good for boxing, and then he switched up. He started saying stuff like belts don't do nothing but collect dust, right? I think when he fought, I remember specifically when he fought Shane Mosley, he was like, you know, after I beat him, he can keep his belt. I ain't paying no sanctioning fees, right? So for a while, he was going after the belts, and then he just like, um, belts don't matter, and a lot of people are still trying to be like Floyd and run with that blueprint. Belts don't matter, but Floyd can say that because he's won so many belts. But a lot of these athletes nowadays ain't won shit, and they're out here talking about belts don't matter. They have never even felt like, or never even experienced what it feels like to be a world champ. You know what I mean? So once you win a belt, official world title, and you feel, experience that feeling, then let's see if belts don't matter to you after that. Because it seems like it's a high for a lot of these fighters, especially nowadays, like Jamel, Devin Haney, Clarissa Shields, Franchon Cruz, Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, Jessica McCaskill, the Canelo Alvarez, the list goes on. It's like they get a world title and they want to get another one. It's like a superpower. You level up. So I just disagree with that whole narrative that belts don't matter. Belts do matter, to a certain class of fighters. So that's really all I got, man. I wanted to acknowledge those champions. If I miss somebody, my bad. It's early, just dropped the kids off, and you know, my brain cells is barely getting woke. You know what I mean? So, but I wanted to acknowledge those undisputed champions for being an example, not following the crowd as far as that whole narrative. Belts don't matter. They setting themselves apart and showing the fans in the boxing world that belts do matter. And there's some champions that rise to the crop, rise to the top of the crop and show you that with me holding all of these belts, ain't nobody better than me. I'm on top. I am the champ. And that's all I want in boxing, man. I want to be able to I want it to be where each division, they fighting it out to where at the end of it all, it's one person talking about, I am the champ of all. That's all I got. I'm the Black Horseman. Shout out to everybody that watched the video. Do hit the like button if you like today's content, and I'll catch y'all in the next one, man.